And this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. All right. So I just want to go over a couple things that I'm going to be covering today on the morning show in less than an hour, taking your calls live. Trump has the most masterful plan for Iran that we've ever seen, which I'm going to go over on the show today when I open up at 6. Okay, and you know it's over for Iran so far as the Ayatollah Islamic government goes. Okay, there's going to be a complete regime change there. President Trump has an incredible plan, and we're going to talk about it and break that down. And it's probably going to be the most amazing regime change and war victory that this country has seen in the modern era, because Trump is an outside of the box kind of guy. So I'm going to cover that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Also, another story I'm going to talk about is Candace Owens did something on her recent show, and I'm going to play the audio clip of it. She is calling on American service members to get dishonorably discharged so they don't have to fight for Israel. And I first off, that's insane. But is what she's doing a crime? I'm gonna ask you guys to call me about this. As Candace Owens, is she committing a crime here? And what I mean by this is she is asking people in the military to get dishonorably discharged so they don't have to fight for Israel, right? First off, she is encouraging a military coup, right? Is she encouraging a military coup? And she's, to get dishonorably discharged, what would they have to do? They'd have to break regulations, break the law. So is Candace Owens encouraging a military coup against the president? And is she encouraging people to break regulations and the law to get dishonorably discharged? Is what she is doing a crime? What do you guys think? She's not a smart person. She has gotten by with people thinking she's smart. She's not. She's really a stupid person, Candace Owens. And I don't think what she's doing is legal. I've never heard someone in this country try to organize a military coup, a mutiny inside our military. What do you have to do to get dishonorably discharged? Right? If you purposely are getting dishonorably discharged, that's a crime. If you are purposely saying, I don't want this, I want to get dishonorably discharged, is that not a crime? Well, Candace Owens is insane. She's nuts. Right? She's not all with it. She's got a lot of issues. I don't know what her specific issues are, but if I think what she's encouraging is an uprising inside the military. Right? Well, there's many things you can do to get dishonorably discharged. But if you are purposely getting yourself dishonorably discharged, is that in itself a crime? I don't know. I'm not a military legal expert, so I'm going to bring that up on the show today. I'm going to first start with Trump's plan with Iran. Then I'm going to get into Candace Owens and ask you all to call and share your thoughts on the air, because she's gone way over the line. It was a lot like I was talking on my podcast yesterday about Tucker Carlson. And what happens a lot of times with, the new media is great and all, but what happens a lot of times with people in the new media, they're so desperate for relevancy and to be trending that they do stupid stuff to get trending or to get everyone talking about them. Yeah, and if somebody gets dishonorably discharged, they have no veterans benefits coming to them. I mean, my goodness. None. Forever. That's no. So I don't know. Is it a? I'm not, is it a crime to advocate for people to commit a crime like that? And if you purposely are getting yourself dishonorably discharged, is that a felony? It's very strange what she's doing. Very strange what she's doing. So those are a couple of the big issues I want to cover today. There's a lot of other things. By the way, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, it's got to be a federal crime and a federal felony. And if you are purposely getting yourself dishonorably discharged, you could probably get sent to military prison just for that alone, right? So I don't know if what she's doing is criminal, but certainly she's calling for a military uprising. It's stupid, but, you know, she's a stupid person. Yeah. So what is, if you say to yourself, I guess if you say to yourself, if you take the advice of Candace Owens and you say, I'm not going to fight this war and I'm going to get myself dishonorably discharged, that in itself has got to be a crime, because that is a mutiny, right? That is a mutiny against the branch you're in. Plus, whatever you did to try to get dishonorably discharged could very well be a crime in itself. I don't think it's a misdemeanor. I think it's a hardcore felony and could borderline on treason. Yeah. Yeah, people throw treason around all the time. I don't throw these things around. That to me sounds like, if you were saying, I'm in the middle, I'm not going to fight in this war and I'm going to get myself dishonorably discharged, is that treason? I don't know. So I'm going to get into that and ask you all to call me on that today, and we'll talk about it. Candace has lost her mind. Her hatred of Jews is just, you know, it's like a form of, it's like Trump derangement syndrome. It rots your brain. No. See, she came along at a time when she came along at a time during the early days of Trump, when there was a lot of outreach going to black conservative voices, and she's a very good speaker, charismatic, good looking, and she got a lot of popularity. But now that we're seeing this new side of Candace, it's very strange. She's not as good looking as she used to be, is she? That's exactly right. I mean, she's just got this inner ugliness. I think that's insane what she's advocating for. And I know I'm not alone with that. Yeah, they were right. I mean, they were right to get rid of her. I mean, she's not stable. She's not stable. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if you're just joining, what Candace Owens, I want to play the clip on the show today. Candace Owens is calling on military personnel who don't want to fight for this, in this war, fight for Israel, to get themselves dishonorably discharged. So she is organizing a military coup. Isn't that a military? Is she calling for a military coup? It sounds like one to me. It does, yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that though in the second or third segment. I'm gonna start with talking about Trump's plan for Iran, which it seems to be a very brilliant one that no one has really considered. But I'll be covering that. I went to another Starbucks today that I go to sometimes that opens up at 5 a.m. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. The president has another Situation Room meeting this morning. The Doomsday plane has arrived near D.C. for the president and the Joint Chiefs and the Defense Secretary. I mean, things are heating up. No doubt about that. I got my car back from the dealer yesterday afternoon, which was nice. Got rid of that crappy rental. No, I think what Candace Owens has done is just crazy. You know, she just doesn't have enough sense to understand what it is she said, but ignorance is not an excuse sometimes. I mean, if you're, you know, here we are on the verge of a war with Iran, and for her to encourage members of the military to get dishonorably discharged so they don't have to participate, that could be in a time like this. Could that not be treason? I mean, what if she encouraged vital personnel that have specialties that are very much needed right now to act out and get and commit some act to get discharged? Now that's insane. And plus, what is she asking these people to do? Lose all their veterans benefits for the rest of their life and maybe even go to jail? Getting dishonorably discharged is a big deal. No, she's got to be called out, and I'm sure a lot of people will be calling her out on this. Look, all of our calling out of Tucker Carlson yesterday, look what it did. Tucker Carlson called President Trump and apologized. He got so much negative feedback from people on the way he was behaving. Goes back to what I was telling you. Andy Warhol was wrong. There is such a thing as bad publicity. Tucker Carlson was getting into that. Now, in the next stream, which will be in about 30, 40 minutes from now, I'll be taking live calls. So you'll be able to call me about all these things. There's other things in the news too, but the two big stories are, of course, the current situation in Iran, President Trump's war plans against Iran that he's approved. We're going to talk about that. And then this Candace Owens story. I'll be at my studio today, not the radio station. Construction on the road into my development here. You know, I'm going to talk about this on the air. I went to the dealer. I got my car back from the dealer yesterday, and my car was at the dealer getting it was in for a recall. They did some things because there was some recall on the car, whatever. And I picked the car up yesterday, and I was wearing my gold Make America Great Again hat, and it was not well received. I got to tell you, it was not well received. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Sorry. I mean, these people were pissed. They were so pissed. They were as pissed as they could be at the place of employment with a customer, you know? If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. When I park, I will take a look at the chat. But I think what Candace Owens is doing is completely insane, and I don't know if it's a crime or not. But if you are an American citizen, as we are on war footing, and you're encouraging members of the military to stage a coup, which I would consider what she's suggesting a coup, there's got to be something wrong with that. I mean, it's insane. I mean, these are like the liberals during the Vietnam War level. Kind of attitude, right? So what Candace Owens did, and I'm going to bring this up on the show and take your calls. On her program, she was telling members of the military who do not want to fight for Israel to get themselves dishonorably discharged so they don't have to fight for Israel. Is what she did a crime? Is it treason? Is she organizing a military coup? Is she encouraging people to commit major crimes? Get yourself discharged honorably on purpose has got to be a crime within itself. And is that crime a federal felony? I mean, there's a lot to talk about with that. I want to cover that. She's a nut, but you know, that doesn't excuse what she's doing, and a lot of people listen to her and follow her, right? I mean, what she's doing is crazy to me. It's completely insane. Yeah. No, she's not very smart. Yeah. The military don't have freedom of speech. There's Tucker went into a panic and called Trump an apology. Mm-hmm. Oh, Trump's awesome, and he's got a great plan to win this war. I support Israel. Of course I support Israel. Of course. But this war with Iran is not just about Israel. It's about us, too. Iran has been trying to assassinate President Trump for years. That is an act of war. Right? Iran's been committing an act of war just on that alone, without question. I don't know what we've lost our minds on. No. Yeah, they did, multiple times. President was asked about it yesterday. No, none of this is made up. You just got to follow along the news. If you follow the news, you would know. Just keep up. Well, Trump always has a plan, and he's always at least 5 steps ahead of everyone else. Always. Well, listen, guys, I want to take off and get ready, but I'll see you in about a half an hour on the next stream. Again, make sure that you